Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today I'd like to talk to you about some materials, specifically catch basins, 4-inch pipe, and 6-inch pipe. You know, your catch basins, you buy these at Lowe's or Home Depot. They're great little products. This thing costs close to 50 bucks, so you want to get the best use out of it as possible. And I've showed this setups of catch basins before. They have little nipples here, 4 of them, and then there's slots that they slide into. Line up those slots, and you just twist it in place. I suggest that you put a couple of screws, at least one screw, in here to hold that tight, because it does tend to come off of there, especially when you're backfilling. This works great for 4-inch pipe. This is 4-inch corrugated. It also can run 4-inch PVC. It can also run 3-inch PVC by running it inside there. It just slides in place. And again, I suggest that you put a screw in here to hold this pipe, because you can see nothing, there's no clamps, there's no snaps, it just slides in and out. And dirt and gravel do hold this together, but a screw works a lot better. But if you're running a 6-inch pipe, what they expect you to do is to slide the 6-inch over top of that little insert. And this is great. Put a screw in here to hold it in place, and this will work just fine. But you're really defeating the purpose of your catch basin. You're defeating the purpose of the 6-inch as well, because comes out. It's actually only 3-inch coming out of here, and you want that water to come out just as fast as you possibly can. So basically, when you buy these type of catch basins, if you're going to run 6-inch, I suggest you just take these out. And the way that I suggest you do it is take your hacksaw, slice a couple of inches into your 6-inch, squeeze it together, and then slide it into the slot. It's a really tight fit, and if you keep twisting and pulling, you'll get it to come right in there really nice, so that it looks like that. I'll give you a close-up on that. So you can see the 6-inch I brought inside, and it actually expands. We're back to the original 6-inch size right here. Yes, it has a slice in it, but it won't hurt anything. And now what you're doing is you're allowing the 6-inch to do its job. Remember that if you put this adapter on here, it's only 3-inch coming out. So you lost the flow of water instantly. Yeah, the 6-inch picks it up, and it will work just fine if you slide it over. So if you're using 6-inch pipe, solid or perforated, remember perforated will be surrounded by gravel. This is going to work great. The grate, it picks up surface water as it comes from the surface itself. The gravel perforated pipe allows water to flood up, so it's subsurface water that's coming into this system as well. Good morning, Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we are down here in Merritt Island, and we are going to do a real simple install, something that you guys could easily do yourself. What we're doing is we're going to install a small catch basin and attach it to an existing line. This is really helpful when you've got a lot of surface water that you need to collect if the yard's flooding and you already have a drain installed. This is something that you guys can easily do yourself, take you about 15-20 minutes. So adding a small catch basin to your line, the first thing you need to do is find the line you're attaching to. And you can see there's a small catch basin over there. That's an atrium grate. Then we have the line that's come out. We've cut the sod off. We need to cut off a fair amount of sod here and expose the pipe fairly well so we can fit a T onto that drain. And then the line is going to come back. We'll put our catch basin here, which means that water is running this direction. So while Joe exposes that, I'm going to go grab the T and we'll go from there. So we've already exposed the line over here. Again, we've got a 4-inch corrugated pipe, and you can see this is the beginning of the line. This is a grate, a catch basin, but it has an atrium grate, which meant that she could bring that higher up and let things go around it. Water still goes into the line. We've got a 4-inch drain. This runs over. There's another catch basin right over there. And it all runs over to a sump basin over there at the corner of that walk. Everything works great here, but right off of this patio, when it rains hard, everything collects right here. It doesn't quite get over to this atrium because there is a curb here as the edge. So if you've got this type of a problem, you've got a low spot in the backyard that collects a lot of water, this is all you really need to do. So once you determine where you're going to put your catch basin, cut your sod off, set it off to the side, and then we're just going to excavate right down through there. A lot of tree roots off of these palms here, but something, again, you could easily do this yourself, take you about 15 minutes. Okay, so to make your connection to your existing line, set your T onto the pipe. Remember, you want to cut to the inside of the coupling, so you make a mark. Joe's holding the saw right there where he's going to cut it. We're just going to cut right through the pipe, go straight through it, non-stop. That's one side. Next, we're going to put the T back on there and make another measurement to this side of the pipe. Yep, right there. And cut straight through it. There we go. And as you can see, the coupling is going to be bigger than the opening. And that's good because you want this to be a tight fit. So this side, hard to pull up because it's underneath of that curb. So we're going to connect this side first. All we're going to do is push it on there and snap it in place. There we go. And then the other side, because it's corrugated, we could squish it, but usually if you just lift it up a little bit higher, pull up the T a little bit, it'll snap right in place. There it goes. Perfect. Easy connection. Now we're ready to go ahead and lay pipe over to and connect one side and then lay it across to where your catch basin is, make that measurement and cut it off. It's always better to make it a little bit long when you make the cut because you can always cut it shorter, but if you cut it short you'll have to do it all again. So he's made his measurement. We're going to cut it off. We're going to snap that onto the catch basin. And it might be a little long, but we'll see. So again, this is good because it's easy to cut off some. I'd cut off a little bit more. There you go. Yeah. Perfect. We'll go ahead and snap that in place. Perfect. We'll set that down into the basin, to our spot. We want that catch basin to be a little bit lower than the top of the concrete, which is just perfect. We're ready to backfill. This is good too. You just use your hand to pack around it, get it tight. Use your hand to throw extra soil on there to help hold down the pipe. Just enough to, keep it in place so that when you backfill, nothing moves around. That looks real good. Now we're ready to backfill. Again, a really simple project, do-it-yourselfer, about 15 minutes, and you're done. So you might have some excess soil and you might not, but if you do, find a spot for it, get rid of it. Remember that we're just going to set the sod back on here and it's just going to settle all by itself. Okay, so we've got the catch basin installed, put the sod back. Remember, it all will settle, don't worry, let it rain on it, it's coming down. So now when water comes off of this concrete patio, it'll all pour down into the catch basin, comes over to the main line, runs through a series of catch basins, and it comes over here to the sump pump. The sump pump's lifting it up and sending it all the way around to the front, which is well beyond that fence. Okay, we're ready to switch over to 2-inch, and just to show you, there's lots of ways that you could do this. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways. This is 1.5 inches inside to the outside 2 inch. It's called a bushing, and we're going to glue the 1.5 inches It slides into, the 1.5 inch slides into the inside of the bushing, and then you need a coupling, and that's going to go around the outside of the bushing. And then the 2-inch pipe begins here. We'll slide it in. We're going to glue all that up, continue to put it on down the line. One other quick note, it's much easier to put all your pipe together on the outside of the trench. In other words, don't lay it and try to put one piece at a time. Glue it all together so you've got a long line, and just lay it down in the trench, and you're all done.
Hi, this is Flora from Apple Drains, reminding you, if you believe you can do something, I guarantee